My child, I want you to stop for just a moment, and feel this message enter your heart. I'm not sharing this to frighten you, but to shield you. This moment is not random, it's not your imagination, it's what I've been trying to reach you about, but your heart's been weighed down, too distracted, too hurt, to notice the signs I sent. And now Archangel Michael has waited 2 full hours, just for this moment, to speak directly to you. He's been pacing, watching closely, waiting, because what he has to reveal can't be delayed another second. You need to hear this carefully. This is no illusion. A private investigator was exposed, and what he was caught doing, it's tied to you, yes you. Someone paid a price, someone gave specific instructions, someone has been quietly observing you from behind the scenes. This isn't about crime, it's about hidden obsession, about unanswered questions, about a hunger for truth that was never voiced aloud. This person was curious, desperate even, to know things about you, they never had the courage to ask. So instead, they sent someone to follow what you didn't say, they followed your stillness, your silence. You've been walking through life, unaware that someone was studying you, not your words, but your energy. They were watching to find what you never spoke. But God says, I expose what has been buried, when the time is right, and that time is now. It will feel surreal, like you've stepped into a movie scene. But child, this is real, this is your life unfolding, in a way that even startled heaven. The man who was caught, he's not new to the spiritual realm. He once turned away from me, he once used his abilities, to uncover people's pain. But when he examined your life, something changed in him, something broke open. He didn't just see facts, he saw prayer, pain, purity. He saw what you've never shown anyone. And instead of turning in a report, he turned to repentance. He abandoned the assignment, he came to us, he came to heaven. That's when Archangel Michael stepped in. And for 2 hours, Michael has been trying to speak to you, to stir your spirit. But there's been a barrier, a wall around your heart. A wall made from old wounds, past betrayals. But if you can open this message, truly open it, it won't be torn down by force, it'll fall because truth arrived, and truth doesn't break, it frees. Love letter, take a breath, let your soul catch up. If you're hearing this in video form, make sure you click subscribe. Don't miss the next urgent message, from me or from Archangel Michael. These are not stories, they are divine instructions. They are keys for your next level of peace, healing, and alignment. Turn on the bell too, the next message is approaching, faster than you think. Love letter, now let me take you deeper. The person who hired the investigator wasn't trying to harm you, at least not initially. It began with concern, with love, with the ache of not knowing why you vanished, why your energy shifted, why you stopped replying. They didn't have the words, so they acted in secrecy, what felt safe for them, but not for you. Now, they're scared. They've realized they crossed a sacred line. And heaven is fully aware. You might feel betrayed hearing this, but there's something you've forgotten. You are divinely protected, not just in body, but in soul, in emotion, in energy. That's why the investigator stepped back, that's why Michael intervened, that's why this message has reached you. You're wrapped in light, covered, guarded. No weapon formed against you will succeed. Even when you felt abandoned, even when the silence felt like absence, I was there. I've been preparing you to walk into truth just like this. Someone is going to come forward, they'll confess. But don't panic, they're not approaching in anger, they're approaching in guilt. They believed they had lost you, and their desperation made them act in a way that now haunts their spirit. But you've been growing, I've been shaping your heart for something higher. And now you must listen, not with emotion, but with your soul. What's starting now may shake you, but it won't destroy you, I won't let it. You're called to more than being watched, you're called to reveal something sacred. You weren't made to be someone's investigation, you were made to be someone's revelation. Let that settle in your heart. Yes, they'll admit it, but not because they were exposed, because they were undone by your light. They saw the beauty they were searching for, even when they sent someone else to find it. Take another breath. I'm not done yet. Listen closely. This is not a fairy tale, not fantasy, it's spiritual truth. You don't need to understand every word right now, just feel what I'm pouring into your spirit. The investigator, he saw something unexpected. It was one photo, just one. You standing alone, no idea you were being watched, no words exchanged, just your face. But in your eyes, there was something, he said it felt like a prayer, looking back at him. That image stayed with him, followed him home, disrupted his sleep. He believed he was in control, but he didn't realize that your presence carries my essence. That's why people misread you. Why they can't seem to let go, why even those who walk away, feel pulled back. You are marked by my mercy, my voice, my love. He was paid to investigate, but what he found was beyond value, he found you. And now Archangel Michael is beside you, even as you hear these words. He is surrounding your space with divine light, not just as a shield, but as a spotlight. Because this is not only about what was done in secret, it's about why heaven is moving now. You are stepping into a chapter where the truth will not stay buried. I told you earlier this would feel like a movie, but what I didn't say was, this is a divine screenplay, written by heaven, directed by the Spirit, and starring you, the one who didn't quit, when the world gave every reason to. The scene you're in now, isn't the climax, it's the breakthrough point. The part where what was hidden, is now revealed. And child, the next revelation isn't just about them, it's about you, finally recognizing the power you've been carrying all along. There's a reason your presence unsettles people. Your calm isn't just peace, it's presence. Your silence isn't avoidance, it's wisdom. And when you walk into a room, your energy speaks, before your words do. Archangel Michael says, tell them their light is louder than their voice. That's why the investigator couldn't go through with the mission, that's why your name felt too sacred, to be written down on someone else's agenda. Now listen closely, there are conversations being had about you right now. But this time, they're not rooted in curiosity or control. They're wrapped in wonder. People are realizing they misunderstood you. They're realizing that the distance they created wasn't protection, it was avoidance of truth, your truth. And now they're circling back, hoping to find you in the same place they left you. But you're not there anymore. You've evolved, you've stretched, you've grown in places, even you didn't notice. You've healed in private, you've whispered your way, through heartbreaks no one saw. You cried through nights so deep, that even your tears prayed, when your voice couldn't. And now God says, this is your emergence, not as someone else, but as more of yourself. Don't be surprised if people say, you feel different. Don't shrink when others look at you, like they don't recognize you. That's not your burden to fix. That's their spirit reacting to your alignment. Heaven is aligning you with people, who will not only see you, but protect what they see. No more performing, no more hiding, no more trying to explain the fire you carry, to those who only see smoke. Let's go deeper. Michael is not just near you, he's encamping around you. He's guarding your decisions, your next steps, your heart. And not because you're weak, but because what you carry is rare. God doesn't assign angels to ordinary assignments. You, child, are on a sacred mission. That's why the opposition has been so loud, that's why confusion tried to whisper lies into your peace. That's why someone had to be caught, before they brought further damage. But now, the shift begins. A change in how you see, how you respond, how you trust. You're not the version of yourself that needed to be validated to feel secure. Now your spirit recognizes truth, even before your mind can explain it. That's why you're being drawn to messages like this, because deep down you know, something bigger than you is moving through your life. And you're finally ready to stop resisting and start receiving. Pause and breathe. Let that truth land. This is your moment to release the tension you've been carrying for years. You don't need to brace for impact anymore. The storm has passed. And though some winds may still blow, they can't shake what God has rooted. You are rooted now, in faith, in clarity, in divine timing. Remember this, the apology might come, but your healing never depended on it. The confession might arrive, but your peace was never held hostage by it. You were already free, you were already held, you were already known. This is just confirmation, not initiation. You didn't become strong today, you've been strong. Today you're just becoming aware of it. And now, something sacred is happening. Someone, yes, the one who triggered all of this, is being shaken. Not by guilt, but by realization. They are beginning to see that what they tried to control was actually what they needed to surrender to. And child, they're not just regretting their actions, they're reconsidering their entire approach to life. But that's not your responsibility. Your role is not to fix, but to forgive. Not to hold space for chaos, but to protect your peace. God says, let them come to me, let them face what they tried to bury. You, my child, must keep walking forward. And now you will. With grace, with boldness, with boundaries made from love, not fear. You'll no longer apologize for needing clarity. You'll no longer make yourself smaller, so others can feel bigger. You'll no longer delay your healing, because someone else hasn't caught up yet. Your soul has waited long enough. The waiting season is ending, and the unfolding begins. This is your unveiling, the spiritual fog is clearing. What was blurred is now sharp, what was unsure is becoming unmistakable. Archangel Michael says, stay grounded, stay ready, the shift is happening in real time. And as it unfolds, you'll notice synchronicities. Moments that feel like déjà vu, conversations that feel divinely timed, dreams that feel more like messages than fiction. That's confirmation, that's the spiritual world echoing back your alignment. Don't question it, receive it. Because everything they tried to learn about you through shadows, heaven is now revealing in light. Everything they tried to access without permission, is being sealed. And everything you lost, while trying to protect your energy, is coming back, not as compensation, but as elevation. You won't need revenge, you won't even crave closure. What's coming will speak louder than explanations. Your healing will become your testimony, your peace will become your proof. And above all, your presence will remain untouchable. Stay in this energy, stay in this awareness. More is coming, more is unfolding, and God says, you're not late, you're not lost, you're right on time. You're not going backward, you're not repeating old patterns, you're moving forward, into alignment, into the clarity you've been praying for, into the strength you've quietly been building, through every painful lesson. And now heaven is releasing the green light, the gates are opening, the wait is over. Let me tell you this next part gently. You are going to start seeing things differently. People who once seemed important, will suddenly lose their hold over your emotions. Conversations you used to replay in your mind, will stop haunting you. The need to explain yourself will vanish. Why? Because spiritual maturity is settling into your bones now. You're not who you used to be, not emotionally, not spiritually, not even energetically. You're evolving. And because of that, the spiritual realm is adjusting around you. Archangel Michael is reinforcing new boundaries around your life. Where you once felt vulnerable, now you'll feel reinforced. And that person who started this entire chain of events, they are restless, they don't know what to do with what they've discovered, not just about you, but about themselves. They are learning the hard way, that peace cannot be purchased, and truth cannot be hidden. They are wrestling with the weight of what they set in motion. But don't let their shame become your burden. You didn't cause this, you didn't ask for this, but now you get to grow through it, not just go through it. Listen, child, there is an anointing over your life, that makes others uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your presence activates their hidden wounds. It calls out their spiritual laziness, it disrupts their illusions. That's why you've often felt like the outsider, that's why they either idolize you, or criticize you. But none of that defines you. What defines you is the fact that I have chosen you, molded you, refined you, and now I am unveiling you. Yes, unveiling, the season of hiding is over, the season of confusion is ending. And with it, I am calling forth your voice, your gifts, your discernment. You're not just protected, you're positioned. Positioned for breakthroughs, positioned for revelations, positioned for divine partnerships, that don't require manipulation or spying, but honesty, clarity, and love. Now pause here and breathe. Place your hand over your heart, feel it beating. That's not just your pulse, that's purpose, that's the rhythm of destiny moving through you. And it's quickening, because what's coming next will require your full presence. You cannot carry old doubt into this new chapter, you cannot entertain fear, when faith is calling. This moment right here, is your reminder that you're not being overlooked, you're being observed by heaven, and upgraded by grace. And child, let me tell you what's already happening behind the scenes. There is a release coming in your favor. Something that was stuck, is about to shift. Whether it's financial, relational, or spiritual, whatever has been delayed, is now being reordered. Angels are moving quickly, Michael is already going before you, ensuring that no hidden agenda, no lingering watcher, no spiritual interference, will block what's next. You will notice synchronicities increase. Repeating numbers, timely messages, dreams that feel too vivid to ignore. Pay attention, these are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Your spirit will begin to vibrate at a frequency that only those aligned with your truth can handle. That's why some people will naturally drift, let them, let what falls fall, let what stays stay. You don't need to beg for alignment, you are becoming alignment. And one more sacred truth, the very reason this person became obsessed with understanding you, is because your peace is foreign to them. It scared them, it confused them, and ultimately it convicted them. You showed them without even knowing it, that healing is possible, that love doesn't chase or control, that energy doesn't lie. They expected weakness, they found wisdom, they expected wounds, they found worship. And now they're realizing that what they feared most, wasn't losing you, it was facing themselves. That's the divine reversal, child. The one who investigated you, has become the one who's now investigating their own soul. That's the power of God at work through you. And as this shift unfolds, I want you to remember this, you are not responsible for other people's healing, you are only responsible for protecting your peace, and following the nudges I place in your heart. Let me handle the rest. Because this story, though dramatic, is not just about interference, it's about intercession. It's about how I've been covering you, in moments you didn't even know you were being watched. It's about how your life is triggering transformation, even in places you never touched physically. That is divine influence, that is purpose, that is why Archangel Michael stood watch and waited, not just to protect, but to witness the activation of what I've placed inside of you. You may still have questions, that's okay, you may still feel a little shaken, that's normal. But let peace rise above all of it, let stillness be your answer for now, because clarity is unfolding in divine order. There is no need to rush, you're not behind, you've never been behind, in fact you're right on time. Now lean in. There is one final thing you must know. This next week will test your awareness. You will hear something, either in conversation, in passing, or perhaps even from someone directly connected to this situation, and it will sound ordinary. But your spirit will recognize it, your heart will whisper, this is connected. When that happens, don't panic, just observe, let it come to you, let the revelation reveal itself fully. You don't need to dig, you don't need to chase, what's meant to reach you, will arrive without force. Because the energy surrounding you now is sacred, it's delicate, it's divine. And what is birthing from this moment, will not only restore your sense of trust, it will expand your purpose. You'll understand in ways you couldn't before, why things had to unfold like this, why the betrayal came before the blessing, why the confusion came before the clarity, why the silence came before the sound of truth. You are being shaped into someone who will no longer just hear divine messages, you will live them, embody them, carry them into rooms where healing is needed, into relationships where clarity is overdue, into moments where light must meet darkness. And the one who once watched you from the shadows, they're no longer the threat they once seemed to be. They're learning, changing, softening. And though it's not your job to fix them, know that your light planted a seed. Whether it blooms in your presence or elsewhere, trust that it was never in vain. Your journey has always been seen, and now it will also be celebrated. Now breathe, not just a shallow inhale, but a full deep breath, that reaches the corners of your being. This moment right here, is not an ending, it's a gateway. The atmosphere around you has changed, and even if your mind tries to downplay it, your spirit knows, something sacred just occurred. You have shifted timelines, you have broken through something, invisible but heavy. The chains that weren't seen by others, but were deeply felt by you, they've loosened. And it wasn't because you forced it, it happened because you surrendered. You surrendered to truth, you surrendered to love, you surrendered to the call of your soul, that's been echoing through the static of everyday life. That whisper, that pull, that stirring, when everything else went quiet. That was me, God says, that was my hand, gently pulling you closer, reminding you of your origin, your purpose, your promise. You don't need a public sign for proof. What just happened in the secret place, between your heart and heaven, was the confirmation. The light is on now, your path is lit. The shadows might still try to speak, but their power has been revoked. Clarity is your birthright now, alignment is your new rhythm, and peace, that deep holy peace, is what you'll carry into rooms that used to trigger your anxiety. You won't shrink this time, you won't over-explain, you won't apologize for your presence. Because this version of you doesn't second-guess divine timing. You've witnessed the setup too clearly now. The alignment was too exact. Even your doubt has quieted. And that's where the miracle lives, not in noise, but in stillness. That stillness you're feeling, that calm despite the unknown, that's not emptiness, that's the presence of heaven sitting beside you. Archangel Michael says, you've made it through the hardest part. Now comes the holy rebuilding. You don't have to rush it, you don't have to map it all out. All you have to do is keep showing up. Show up in truth, show up in softness, show up in strength, show up with the wisdom you earned through pain. Because that's the part most people miss, the way your wisdom didn't come from books or theories, but from living through what others thought would break you. And now look at you, you're still standing, you're still listening, you're still open to healing. That alone is proof of how powerful your spirit truly is. So here's what you need to know, as the next chapter begins. There's going to be movement, people who ghosted you may reappear, opportunities you forgot about may resurface, even your own dreams will feel different, more vivid, more real, more reachable. But the difference this time is you'll move from discernment, you won't just respond, you'll choose. You'll know the difference between what's sent and what's meant. Because clarity has moved in, confusion has been evicted, and divine authority has taken its place. God says, you are not entering a season of luck, you are entering a season of fulfillment. What I promised is about to manifest, not because you earned it, but because you endured. And child, I saw the moments when you almost gave up, I saw the tears you wiped away in silence, I saw the betrayal, the rejection, the shame you carried like a hidden weight. But I also saw you refuse to let that weight define your worth. I saw you reach for light, when darkness made more sense. I saw you speak life, even when you didn't feel it yourself. And that right there is why heaven is responding now. This blessing coming your way isn't a reward, it's a reflection. A mirror of who you've become, resilient, radiant, ready. So don't question it, when good things begin to pour in. Don't sabotage the love, the favor, the alignment that's on its way. You don't need to earn what was always written in your destiny. Archangel Michael wants you to know something else. The person who watched you, the one who crossed lines, the one who awakened all of this, they were never your enemy. They were your catalyst. Without their actions, you may have stayed asleep a little longer. But now you are fully awake. And that, child, is your power. Because a soul that has awakened cannot be manipulated, a spirit that has remembered its divinity cannot be controlled, and a heart that knows its worth will no longer settle for scraps, when it was born for the banquet. So hold your head high, not in pride, but in truth. Let your shoulders relax, let your energy soften, let your next steps be led, not by fear, but by faith. And let everything that tried to harm you, watch as you rise, not to prove them wrong, but to prove God right. You were always meant for this, every wound was part of your awakening, every loss made space for something holy, every delay was divine timing in disguise. And now you are in the flow, you're not behind, you're not late, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This message is your permission slip to move forward, not timidly, but boldly. Not in reaction to pain, but in response to promise. The spotlight that's finding you now, you didn't chase it, it was drawn to your light. You didn't have to scream to be seen, your presence has always been loud enough for heaven to hear. So go, walk in freedom, speak with clarity, love without fear. The chapter you're stepping into is the one heaven wrote long before they tried to rewrite your story. And this time, you'll live it fully, without dimming, without doubting, without delay. Archangel Michael is still with you, heaven is still speaking, and God is still unfolding every promise. More is coming, stay open. I am not just giving you a miracle to hold in your hand, I am giving you your true self back. The version of you that never needed permission to shine, the version that existed before the world tried to tame your spirit. You see, beloved, what's happening now is not just a shift, it's a resurrection. I'm breathing life into dreams you buried, I'm reigniting passions you talked yourself out of, I'm restoring pieces of you that got lost while trying to love people who never knew how to love you back. And no, you didn't imagine those promises, I whispered in the quiet moments, I meant every one of them. You are still on schedule, you are still worthy of the vision. Nothing that was delayed has been denied, every setback, every silent night, every season of confusion, it was preparing the soil of your life, for what I'm planting now. And child, what I'm planting will grow quickly, so quickly, it will make your head spin. But remember this, with acceleration comes responsibility. You must guard your peace, now more fiercely than ever. Not everyone will understand your rise, not everyone will celebrate your glow. Some will question it, some will try to replicate it, some will even try to dim it. But you must remember that their reactions are not your responsibility. Your only job is to remain rooted in who I say you are. Your only assignment is to keep walking in truth, in light, in love, because I promise, nothing formed against you will prosper. And those who tried to observe you quietly, who thought they could study your spirit without touching it, are now faced with a choice: evolve or walk away. Because what they've witnessed in you is not something they can unsee, and it's not something they can explain, without admitting they've been moved. You have become a mirror, a reflection of what they didn't know they needed. And that reflection is waking them up. So don't be surprised if the very people who once overlooked you now seek your presence. Don't be shocked when the ones who once gossiped about you now ask for your guidance. This is what divine transformation looks like. This is what happens when light refuses to apologize for shining. And you, my radiant child, are that light. So keep rising, keep healing, keep loving, keep choosing faith over fear. Because what's coming next will require all of you. Not the half-hearted version, not the playing it safe version. The full, unapologetic, powerful version of who I created you to be. The one who walks into rooms and shifts atmospheres, the one who speaks and heaven listens, the one who lives and others begin to believe in miracles again, just by watching. This is the new beginning I've been preparing you for. And no, you won't need to announce it. Your peace will do the talking, your alignment will confirm it, your joy will be your introduction. And when you least expect it, the doors will open, the calls will come, the divine appointments will line up with such precision, you'll know it wasn't random, it was written. And even then, don't forget what grounded you, don't forget these quiet moments, don't forget the tears that watered your growth, the whispers that carried you through the nights, the unseen hands that held you when you felt like falling apart. Remember this moment as the one where it all turned, where everything you went through began to make sense. Archangel Michael says, tell them the protection wasn't just for the battle, it's for the blessing too. Because sometimes the most dangerous season isn't when you're broken, it's when you're blooming. That's when the enemy gets loud, that's when distractions come wrapped in beauty, that's when you must be more discerning than ever. But don't worry, Michael isn't leaving your side, the same sword that shielded you in the storm, will guide you in the sunshine. And child, if there's still a part of you that wonders if you're ready, let me be clear. You are. You wouldn't be here if you weren't, you wouldn't still be listening if your soul wasn't aligned, you wouldn't feel this fire in your chest, if heaven hadn't already called your name. So take a deep breath, let it sink in. This is your time, not next year, not someday, now. This is the season where everything starts to match your spirit, the season where peace becomes your baseline, not your reward, the season where what you lost is replaced by what you were always meant to carry. And if you felt forgotten, if you felt like your prayers have been echoing into silence, know this. I never stopped listening, every whisper reached me, every tear was caught, every longing was seen, and none of it was wasted. You are stepping into a harvest you didn't even know you were planting. So walk boldly, love fully, speak truth, even when your voice shakes. And when the world tries to rush you, tries to distract you, tries to tell you who to be, come back here. To this moment, to this truth, to this love letter, written on the walls of your soul. Because no matter where you go next, no matter who enters or exits your story, this part right here will remain. The part where heaven reminded you who you are, the part where your spirit finally said, I remember now. The part where you stopped looking for signs, because you realized, you are the sign. This was never just a message, this was an activation. And now that you've been activated, there's no going back. Not to fear, not to pretending, not to shrinking, only forward, only deeper, only higher. And yes, I'll be with you, every step, every choice, every tear and every triumph. You are never alone, you are never without guidance, and you are never beyond the reach of grace. Love letter stay close, heaven's not done speaking, and neither is your soul. They were stripping away everything that would have held you back in this next season. I wasn't being silent to hurt you, I was being quiet to strengthen you. You didn't need more noise, you needed depth, you needed roots. And now that you've grown them in private, your fruit will appear in public. What felt like delay, was actually divine alignment. And soon you'll see that I wasn't holding anything back from you, I was holding you back, from what wasn't for you, I was shielding you from distractions, detours, and decisions, that would have stolen your peace. Because peace, real peace, is part of your inheritance. Child, you've mistaken stillness for stagnation. But not every quiet season is a dead one, some are sacred, some are where the soil deepens, where your spiritual muscles are built. You've been gaining wisdom, resilience, and an unshakable kind of faith, that doesn't depend on outcomes. And now because you let me lead, even when it didn't make sense, I'm leading you into something that will. You're entering a phase of your life, where the questions will start being answered, not all at once, but in waves. A conversation will make something click, a dream will feel like a revelation, a memory will be healed, by a new understanding. One by one, I'll connect the pieces, you thought would never make sense, and suddenly, what once looked like chaos, will look like choreography. Because child, I was in every moment, even the ones you thought I missed, even the ones you begged me to change. I was there, softening your edges, refining your spirit, preparing you for something greater than you knew to pray for. And now listen carefully, because I'm shifting something in you, even as you read this. That heaviness you've carried, the lingering doubt, the quiet disappointment, it's lifting. I'm replacing it with clarity, with confidence, with joy that returns, not just for a night, but for a season, and not a short one. This next season won't just restore what you lost, it will redefine what you thought was possible. I'm about to exceed the very prayers you once thought were too big. You asked me for healing, I'm giving you wholeness, you asked for answers, I'm giving you wisdom, you asked for connection, I'm bringing divine covenant, you asked for peace, I'm planting it inside you like a seed that will never run dry. You didn't just survive that season, child, you passed a test. And heaven saw it, Archangel Michael stood beside you when no one else could. And now the angels are not just watching, they're moving. They're opening paths, closing doors that would have hurt you, and releasing protection that will go before you, into rooms you don't even know you're walking into yet. Yes, this is divine timing. You are not late, and you are not early, you are on time with the clock of heaven. And what's coming next will not just align with your dreams, it will align with your destiny. The one I wrote long before you ever cried your first tear. There's someone reading this right now, who feels like giving up again. You've been here before, on the edge of quitting, on the edge of silence, on the edge of disconnecting from everything, just to protect your heart. But hear me, this is not your end, this is your edge, and I am calling you to leap in faith, not fall in fear. Because what's waiting on the other side of your surrender, is bigger than the pain you're afraid to release. Let it go, let them go, let what wasn't meant to love you go. I will never tell you to let go of something, unless I've already prepared something better. You've been loyal to the wrong version of yourself for too long, too quiet, too careful, too afraid to be seen. But I'm calling out the real you now. The bold you, the joyful you, the healed you, the unshaken you. I've been restoring your voice in the silence, and now it's time to speak again. Speak life over yourself, speak peace into your atmosphere, speak vision into your future. Your words are not weak, they carry heaven's frequency. And the more you speak in alignment with me, the faster things begin to shift. This is how it begins, not with noise, but with knowing. Not with a bang, but with a breath. So breathe, child, right now. Breathe like someone who has survived, breathe like someone who knows they're about to thrive, breathe like someone who isn't asking anymore, will it happen, but instead declaring, it's already mine. Your miracle isn't in the distance, it's at the door. And now that your spirit is awake, you'll hear it knock, you'll sense the shift, you'll know this is the moment you were made for. And as you rest tonight, don't just sleep, receive. Let every part of your being soak in the truth I've whispered to you from the beginning. You are loved, you are chosen, you are protected, and you are ready. Yes, child, ready, not because everything is perfect, but because I am perfecting all things concerning you. And that's all you need. Now let go of the timeline, let go of the pressure, let go of needing to understand it all. Just walk with me, one step, one day, one yes at a time. And as you walk, remember, Michael is still with you, heaven is still for you, and I, your God, have never left your side, not for a second. This is the path, this is the promise, this is the beginning of everything you've been waiting for. Yes, my child, come just a little closer now, let these words wrap around you, like a quiet breeze at the end of a long journey. Because even though you've made it through the wilderness, through the shadows and the silence, your soul still craves one final confirmation, a soft holy echo, that what you just lived through mattered. And I'm here to give it to you. You didn't endure those restless nights for nothing, you didn't carry that pain alone, just to be forgotten. Every tear, every sigh, every whispered, God, are you there, was answered, even when you couldn't feel it. I've been weaving redemption into every moment of your suffering. What you thought was being taken from you, was actually being transformed within you. Let me show you what I mean. The one who misjudged you, they will soon see a version of you they never imagined. Not because you've become someone new, but because they never really saw you in the first place. Their eyes were clouded by fear, by pride, by the inability to receive something pure, without first trying to control it. But their clarity is coming, not so that they can return to you, but so that they can learn from what they mishandled. And you, precious one, are not bitter. You've tasted bitterness, yes, but you didn't make it your home, you let it pass through you, without becoming you. And that's why I can trust you with the blessing that's next. Because you'll carry it with grace, not arrogance, you'll hold it like a healed person, not a hurting one. That's also why the doors are opening now. Not because you forced them, but because you waited. You learned to sit in the hallway, not pacing, but praying. Not complaining, but cultivating. You cleaned up your inner world, while everyone else was focused on appearances. And now, child, I'm sending people into your life, who are just as real as you. People who will match your energy, not drain it, people who will respect your truth, not try to silence it. Some of them are already watching you in silence. Their spirit recognizes your glow, before their mind fully understands it. Let them come, let them observe, let them rise to your frequency, because you're not dimming your light anymore. And to that part of you that still wonders, if the miracle is really for you, let me be clear. Yes, it is. You are not exempt from goodness, you are not too late, you are not too damaged. I specialize in restoring the overlooked, I love to resurrect what others buried too soon. You are a walking resurrection, and the evidence of my grace is about to show in every area of your life. There's a shift happening in the unseen, it's subtle, but powerful. You might feel it in the way strangers treat you differently, you might hear it in the timing of conversations, you might even feel it in the way you're beginning to believe in yourself again. That's not coincidence, that's me, that's heaven signaling, it's time. Now let me whisper this into your soul. You are no longer the one chasing healing, you are the one who carries healing. Your voice, your presence, your energy, it soothes, it uplifts, it activates others. That's why you've been under attack, that's why the warfare was so relentless. The enemy wasn't afraid of who you were, he was terrified of who you're becoming. But he failed, because here you are, still soft, still listening, still choosing love. And now I'll reward you openly, for what you endured privately. Expect answers where there was confusion, expect favor where there was resistance, expect overflow where there was just enough, expect clarity where there was fog, expect divine connections that feel like home after a long journey, expect something to happen that lets you know without a doubt, God has been paying attention. You didn't imagine it, child, you weren't wrong about that feeling you couldn't shake, you were discerning something spiritual, something sacred. And soon even the skeptics will see the fruit of your faith. Now stand up, not in ego, but in expectancy. Hold your head high, not to be seen, but because you finally see yourself. Smile again, not because everything's perfect, but because you trust me, even in the unknown. And tomorrow when the world feels loud, come back to this moment, come back to this love. Because it's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. Michael is still on post, he hasn't moved, the angels assigned to you have not taken a break. They are guarding the very atmosphere around you. That's why some places will feel off now, that's why certain people will fall away without warning. It's not rejection, it's protection. Their season in your story is over, and I'm not letting anyone distort the next chapter. You are stepping into the season, where promises become presents, and hope becomes harvest. Let the tears fall if they need to, let the silence wrap around you like a prayer, let your heart whisper, "Thank you God," even if you don't know what's coming next. Because you don't need to know everything, you just need to remember who's walking with you. I always have been. Now go forward, my beloved, with grace in your step, with fire in your soul, with peace in your chest. You are ready, you are covered, you are rising, and heaven is watching, cheering, preparing a table, in the presence of everything that tried to break you. This is your confirmation. This is your release. This is your anointing. Walk in it. Amen.